Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL landscape lately, you know that the Chicago Bears, a team with a rich history and a passionate fan base, is quietly making some interesting moves that could have long-term implications. And no, I'm not just talking about the draft or the big-name signings, but about something that might seem small at first glance, yet could turn out to be quite significant for their depth at a very crucial position: running back. That's right, the Bears, who already have DeAndre Swift leading the charge as their unquestioned starter, are now looking even more carefully at their options behind him. And what makes this story so intriguing is the name that's been surfacing on the NFL transaction wire, someone you probably wouldn't expect, but someone who could be a real hidden gem for this team. So let's set the scene here. Going into this offseason, everyone knew that the Bears' running back situation was a bit of a question mark. DeAndre Swift, acquired in a trade last season, stepped into the spotlight and proved his value with some impressive performances. Swift, a dynamic back with explosiveness and good hands, looked like the clear lead back. But beyond him, things were a little uncertain. Royce Johnson, who showed flashes of promise, has been sidelined by a foot injury that he suffered over a week ago. This injury has cast a shadow of doubt over his availability for the start of the season, and in the NFL, injuries at this stage can be tricky. You never want to rush a player back, especially with a foot injury that can sometimes linger or re-aggravate if not handled carefully. Meanwhile, Kyle Monangai, who had been making some noise in the offseason, didn't even get to showcase himself in the preseason game against Buffalo because of an undisclosed injury he picked up during joint practices. That's another blow. Teams always want to see their depth players get some game reps, especially in the preseason, to evaluate their readiness. When you throw in Dayan Hankins and Travis Homer, both of whom are also dealing with injuries, the picture becomes even clearer. The Bears are definitely feeling the pinch at the running back position. It's a tough spot, but it's also an opportunity for the front office and coaching staff to look around for options, players who can step in, log snaps, and provide valuable depth. Now, that's where things get interesting. The Bears, as we know, have already signed Brittain Brown as an emergency free agent, which is a smart move given the circumstances. But apparently, the team isn't stopping there. The NFL transaction wire revealed that Chicago hosted 3 different running backs for tryouts on Tuesday. This isn't just a routine visit. It's a sign that they're actively exploring options to bolster their depth at this critical position. And among those 3 players, one name particularly stands out: Freeman. Now, if you follow the league, you might recognize the name, but let me tell you, Freeman's journey has been quite the story. This Freeman, a former third-round pick, had a decent stint with Denver, where he managed to average around 40 yards per carry. That's solid production, especially considering the limited opportunities he's had in the league. But what's really interesting is that he never quite managed to claim a full-time starting role. Instead, he's bounced around the league as a part-time back, trying to find a stable spot. He didn't play last season, which means he's coming into this season with fresh legs and something to prove. That motivation can sometimes be exactly what a team needs: an underdog looking to make his mark. On the college level, Freeman was a highly productive player, starring at Central Arkansas before transferring to UNLV. His college tape showed a back with good contact balance, strength, and a solid vision, traits that NFL teams value, especially in a system like Ben Johnson's offense, which emphasizes versatility and reliability from the running back position. Now James, another name that's been floating around, had an outstanding 2023 season at Washington, scoring 16 touchdowns. That kind of production is impressive, but he went undrafted and hasn't yet appeared in any NFL games. So there's a bit of a gap between college success and NFL experience, but you never know how a player might develop, especially in a system that suits his style. Right now, the optimistic view is that the top trio, Swift, Monangai, and Johnson, are fully capable of starting the season without issues. Swift, of course, is the engine of the backfield, bringing that explosive element that defenses have to respect. Johnson, despite his injury, has shown enough in college and in limited NFL action to suggest he can contribute once healthy. And Homer, who is a lock to make the roster, is vital not just as a runner but also for his special teams contributions. The Bears' focus at this stage is about building depth, finding someone who can log snaps in practice, step in if needed, and provide a little insurance policy, especially with the season opener approaching. From a fit perspective, Freeman makes a lot of sense. He's not the fastest guy on the field, but he's got good strength, a reliable contact balance, and a solid vision, qualities that fit well into Ben Johnson's offensive scheme, which emphasizes power and patience. He's shown he can be dependable in a system that values those traits. Even if he doesn't make the final roster, just getting his name out there again is a win for him, and it keeps the Bears' options open. They could sign him to the practice squad, or keep him as an extra piece for the preseason finale against Kansas City to see how he performs under game conditions. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on the bigger picture here. The Bears have been building for the future, focusing on a young core, and trying to find the right pieces to complement Justin Fields, who's entering a critical year in his development. The running back position, while often overlooked compared to quarterbacks or wide receivers, is still vital. It's about balance, about having multiple options to keep defenses guessing, and about the ability to grind out tough yards when needed. The fact that the Bears are actively looking at different options shows they're serious about building a resilient roster, one that can handle the bumps and bruises of a long NFL season. Looking at the current roster, it's clear that the Bears have a solid foundation, but depth is often what separates good teams from great ones. Injuries happen, and in a league as physically demanding as the NFL, having reliable backups can be the difference between a playoff push and a disappointing season. That's why these tryouts, these late moves, are so important. They're about making sure that no matter what, the Bears are prepared. And it's not just about having someone fill a roster spot. It's about adding someone who can contribute meaningfully when called upon, someone who can help sustain drives, convert third downs, and provide that physical punch on the goal line. And let's not forget, in the NFL, everything is interconnected. A strong running game can open up the passing game, give Justin Fields more options, and keep opposing defenses honest. The Bears are clearly aware of that, which is why they're exploring all avenues to ensure their backfield is as deep and versatile as possible. They want to be ready for anything, whether it's a key injury, a change in game plan, or simply testing out new talent in the preseason. That's the NFL grind, and the Bears are right in the thick of it, trying to carve out their path toward another successful season. So as we watch all these moves unfold, it's fascinating to see how every piece, every tryout, can have ripple effects. Freeman, for example, with his background and skill set, could be a valuable addition if he impresses in practice. Even if he doesn't make the final roster, getting his name out there keeps options open. The Bears are always looking for that extra edge, and in today's NFL, even the smallest move can sometimes turn into a big impact. Whether Freeman gets signed or they turn to another player, the message is clear. They're serious about building a resilient, competitive team that can contend in the NFC North and beyond. Now, for all you Bears fans out there, I know the excitement is building. The season is just around the corner, and every move, every tryout, adds to the anticipation. Will Freeman or another player step up and become that reliable backup that everyone's been waiting for? Only time will tell. But what's certain is that the Chicago Bears are doing what they always do, adapting, improving, and fighting to get better every single day. The journey toward another Super Bowl run is filled with challenges, but if there's one thing Bears fans know, it's that their team never gives up. They keep pushing, keep fighting, and keep dreaming of that next championship. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. Do you think Freeman or another of these tryout players could be the difference maker? Or do you believe the current roster is already enough to make a strong push? Whatever your thoughts are, share them with us. Plus, don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. We're in this together, and every bit of insight, every opinion, helps us all get closer to understanding what's really happening behind the scenes. Remember, folks, the NFL season is a marathon, and every team is trying to find its rhythm. The Bears are no different. They're working behind the scenes, making strategic moves, and preparing for what promises to be an exciting year. So keep your eyes peeled, stay passionate, and let's see where this journey takes us. Thanks for riding along, and as always, bear down.